And hello everyone, today we've got this Mercedes C-Class W204 in with an issue with a panoramic sunroof. The issue is the sunroof is really stiff on this car. So normally it tilts about this much and doesn't want to go any further back. I'll demonstrate to you what happens. So we'll try and open the sunroof. You can see it's really stiff. Now if you help it, it continues. But you can see it's struggling quite significantly. Now, what we've done is we've actually found that the tracks at the front, somebody else has greased them and they put a lot of grease in, but I've tried to clean that up. But there's also a track at the back, which is where this arm runs here. So if I just come around to the other side, where we've removed this trim panel, and you can see the trim panel simply clipped in. So you just gotta work it loose. You'll see there's a track at the back here. Now this one is absolutely dry. So we believe that if we give this a bit of a clean and a bit of lubrication, that should work. Now I'll see if I can remove this. I'll see if I can remove this trim here with one hand, if that comes off. So it's a bit stiff. Just not gonna budge, but let me help the sunroof and open it. And then we'll start by working this trim loose. So I'll try again, just got my fingers under the trim in the middle. And it's just working it loose forward and backwards. So I'll do that with two hands actually. So I've just worked the trim loose at the front, so you can see from here it's loose. I've not pulled it off from here because it's actually slotted in to the windscreen. And now what I'll do is I'll close the sunroof so I can access and pull the trim off the back. So now I'm just going to use both my hands with my fingers under the trim and just work it all the way back. As you can see, I've lifted the trim off and put that to one side. So now we've exposed the rear channel, you can see this seal here is very dirty. So we're going to clean that. And then we'll also put a bit of grease in this track over here, but we'll probably give that a bit of a clean as well. And hopefully this should restore the sunroof function. So what we've done is cleaned this out now. So we've cleaned the seal with hot water and scrubbed it with a toothbrush, and you can see we've got all the mold off and it's actually nice and smooth now. But also we used the Wonder Wipe spray, it's just a cleaning solution, and we've cleaned inside there with a brush, with a hard bristle brush, and that's nice and clean on both sides. Now what we're going to use is Febi 31942 lubricating paste. Hold that there. This is designed for plastic bushing running on metal parts. And we're just going to get a little bit in here. Now remember, you don't have to put too much because what's going to happen, it will also attract dust. So a little bit of lubricating paste in here, just so it's nice and smooth and reduces the amount of friction. So what I've found the best way is just to get it in with your finger like this. So we don't want to get too much on the roof seals. And then just push it in with a toothbrush and work it along. And we'll do this on both sides. And then we'll wipe off the excess on the outside and on the seals because that's not required. Now we've just greased the rear track only. Obviously there was a lot of grease in the front, but let's just open that sunroof and see how it works now. Tilts well. Struggling a bit, but still moving nicely now without any assistance. Okay, so that's working. Now we'll start cleaning the tracks at the front and grease them up. Now, although this vehicle has already had a lot of grease put in the front, we've cleared out what we can. We don't want to wash too much cleaner down there because you can see they've already got the grease on the headliner. But a little bit of grease on the toothbrush and just get it in the track like that and just work it in. And then the same on the other side, might top the grease up. Just a bit of grease in there and just work it in. And get it lubricated, wipe off any excess because it only needs to be inside the channel where the sunroof runs and not everywhere else. I should probably add that's where the tilt mechanism is, so don't forget to get some grease in there because that is quite important. It's just right at the back there, inside the groove, and along here as well. It's quite difficult to record, but yeah. So what we've done is we've also cleaned this rubber here that goes around because we found that was really dirty. So we've cleaned that, so we've actually got all the dirt off it and it's actually a lot more smoother now. We need to treat that, so we're going to treat that with Worth Rubber Fit. We also cleaned the sunroof sides and the edges. So that's going to obviously help. And mainly the wind deflector, we've put a touch of grease just there and there on the wind deflector, because obviously when the sunroof comes down, it's working against this to press it down, and obviously the spring force there. But while you've got it open, just get a vacuum on it, vacuum the wind deflector, and just vacuum all the rubbish out of here. See, now the wind deflector looks a lot better. Been vacuumed and sealed. There's a little bit of rubbish left there, which I'll just pick out shortly. Well, insect remnant actually. And we just vacuumed down here, so there's no more leaves in there. Now the issue we're having is when the sunroof is trying to close, the resistance of the wind deflector is making the sunroof think that, the resistance of the wind deflector is triggering the pinch protection. So I'll just demonstrate. It's bouncing back. So what we're going to do now is calibrate the sunroof with diagnostic equipment. Before we put these rail covers back on, you see they're really filthy, so we're going to blow them out with some compressed air, and we're going to clean all this dirt off. And obviously on this side as well, that's the interface with the sunroof, so we're going to clean that off and potentially just lubricate that with some rubber treatment so it doesn't impede the function of the sunroof. So here's the covers on the roof rails. So we've cleaned them up, we've got rid of all the mould and the grime on the seals, and we've lubricated them with Worth rubber fit. See that? Now we're ready to fit these on, and we'll give the sunroof one more go. So when getting this rail on, make sure your rubber is lined up, and you slot it in at the front and bring it at the back. Make sure it's lined up, and I would actually start from the front and just tap it in till it's all the way in. Do the same on the other side. Now we've got the rails on, it's all been cleaned, all the rubbers have been lubricated, all the rails have been greased. We've actually just held the button and closed the sunroof for now. We're going to do the teaching process now. So we're using a launch tablet here. Look, there's a lot of tablets out there that you could use. We can also use Entry. We've got the car on a power supply unit because it asks for it. We've gone into the Panoramic sliding sunroof module. They may call it something else on other programs. Click on special function. Teaching process. Teaching of pinch protection. Gives you some parameters there. Make sure you read and follow. Again, don't put your finger there while it's doing it. And it's going to do it now, so it should start with the blind. And now it's going to do the sunroof. You can see that it's interfacing in that channel that we cleaned. Looks like that's worked correctly. Let's look at the equipment, what it says. Successful. Excellent. Let's give the sunroof a go now. So, open the sunroof. Press and let go. And close. And there you have it. That's how to service the sunroof on a Mercedes C-Class W204. I'm sure it's very similar to other Mercedes models in the range. We hope you found our video useful, and if you did, please hit like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.